Happy morning, students. I'm welcoming you all to this online class. In previous week in biology, we started organization of tissues, in which we have completed plant tissues. Let us have a first look on that. What is a tissue? Group of cells that perform particular function is called as tissue. These tissues are divided into plant tissue and animal tissue. Plant tissues are further divided into meristematic and permanent tissues. In meristematic tissues, we discussed about the different types of meristem such as apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. In permanent tissues, we seen simple and complex tissues. In simple tissues, we discussed parenchyma cells, collenchyma cells and sclerenchyma cells. And in complex tissues, we discuss the various cells of xylem and phloem. Today, we start with another chapter, that is animal tissue. Study of tissue is known as histology. I repeat, study of tissues is known as histology. Animal tissues are also divided into simple and compound tissues. Group of cells which are similar in origin, form and function is called simple tissue, whereas group of cells with different structure and function is called compound tissues. See, if you see the animal tissues are grouped into four basic types on the basis of their structure and function. They are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. First we see what is epithelial tissue. It is the simplest tissue composed of one or more layers of cells covering the external surface of the body and the internal organs. Epithelial cells lie on a non-cellular basement membrane. The epithelial cells generally lacks blood vessels. There are two types of epithelial tissues, simple epithelium and compound epithelium. Simple epithelium is composed of single layer of cells, whereas compound epithelium composed of several layers of cells, many layers. If you see the functions of epithelial tissues, they helps in protection, absorption, elimination and secretion. First is protection. The skin protects the outer covering of the body under the underlying cells from drying, injury and microbial infection. Second, absorption. They help in absorption of water and nutrients. Third one is elimination of waste products. And fourth one is they secrete the sweat, saliva, mucus and enzymes. First is simple epithelium. Simple epithelium is formed of single layer of cells. It is further divided into squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium, ciliated epithelium and glandular epithelium. Squamous epithelium. It is made up of thin, flat cells with prominent nuclei. The squamous epithelium is also known as pavement membrane, which forms a delicate lining of the buccal cavity, alveoli of lungs, proximal tubule of kidney and covering of the skin and tongue. It protects the body from mechanical injury, drying and invasion of germs. Next is cuboidal epithelium. It is composed of single layer of cubical cells like ice cubes. The nucleus is round and lies in the center. This tissue is present in the thyroid vesicles, salivary glands, sweat glands and exocrine pancreas. Their main function is secretion and absorption. Next is columnar epithelium. This columnar epithelium is composed of single layer of slender, elongated and pillar-like cells. They look like a column. The nuclei are located at the base. It is found lining in the stomach, gallbladder, bile duct, small intestine, colon, etc. They are mainly involved in secretion and absorption. Next is ciliated epithelium. Certain columnar cells bear numerous delicate hair-like outgrowths called cilia or called ciliated epithelium. Their main function is to move particles or mucus in specific direction over the epithelium. It is seen in the trachea of windpipe, bronchioles of respiratory tract, kidney tubules, and also fallopian tubes of oviduct, that means female reproductive tract. Glandular epithelium. These epithelial cells are often modified to form specialized gland cells which secrete chemical substances at the epithelial surface. This lines the gastric glands, pancreatic tubules, and intestinal glands. That's all we finish simple epithelium. Next is compound epithelium. It consists of more than one layer of cells and gives a stratified appearance. Hence, they are also known as stratified epithelial cells. The main function of this epithelium is to give protection to the underlying tissues and against mechanical and chemical stress. They also cover the dry surface of the skin, the moist surface of the buccal cavity, and pharynx. Next, we see what is connective tissue. It is one of the most abundant and widely distributed tissue. It provides structural framework and gives support to tissues forming organs. The components of connective tissue are the matrix, connective tissue cells, and fibers. Connective tissues are classified into connective tissue proper, supportive connective tissue, dense connective tissue, and fluid connective tissue. First, we see what is connective tissue proper. Connective tissue proper consists of collagen fibers, elastin fibers, and fibroblast cells. It has two types of tissues, areolar tissue, adipose tissue. Areolar tissue joins skin to muscles, fills space inside the organs, and is found around the muscles, blood vessels, and nerves. It helps in repair of tissues after injury and fixes skin to underlying muscles. It has cells and fibers loosely arranged in a semi-fluid ground substance called matrix. Second is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is the aggregation of fat cells, spherical or oval in shape. It serves as a fat reservoir and also act as shock absorbers. They also regulate the body temperature by acting as insulator. Second type is the supportive connective tissue. The supporting connective tissue forms the endoskeleton of the vertebrate body, which protects various organs and helps in locomotion. Locomotion means movement. The supportive tissue include cartilage and bones. What is a cartilage? Cartilage are soft, semi-rigid, flexible, and are less vascular in nature. Cartilage is present in the tip of the nose, external ear, end of long bones, trachea, and larynx. It provides support and flexibility to the body parts. Next is the bone. Bone is a solid, rigid, and strong, non-flexible skeletal connective tissue. The matrix of the bone is rich in calcium salts and collagen fiber, which gives strength to the bone. The hollow cavities of spaces of the bones are called marrow cavities, filled with bone marrow. They provide shape and structural framework to the body. Bone supports and protects soft tissues and organs. Next is the dense connective tissue. This is the third type of connective tissue. It is a fibrous connective tissue densely packed with fibers and fibroblasts. It has two types. One is tendon, another one is ligament. What are tendons? Tendons are cord-like strong structures that joins the skeletal muscles to the bones. Tendons have the great strength and limited flexibility. Ligaments. Ligaments are highly elastic structure and have a great strength which connects the bone to the bone. They contain very little matrix. They strengthen the joint and allow normal movement. And last one is the fluid connective tissue. The blood and the lymph are the fluid connective tissue which link different parts of our body. It has blood and lymph. The first is the blood. Blood contains corpuscles, which are red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles, and platelets. In this fluid connective tissue, the blood cells move in a fluid matrix called plasma. The plasma contains inorganic salts and organic substances. It is a main circulating fluid that helps in transport of nutrient substances. Next, we see the blood cells one by one. First one is the red blood corpuscles, RBC. It is also called as erythrocyte. The RBC are oval-shaped, circular, biconcave, disc-like cells, and they lack means do not have nucleus. They contain a respiratory pigment called hemoglobin, which is involved in the transport of oxygen to tissues. This hemoglobin gives red color to the RBC. Second one is the white blood cells. It is also called as leukocyte. They are larger in size and contain distinct nucleus and are colorless. They are capable of amoeboid movement. They can move from one place to another place in the blood and play an important role in body defense mechanism. நோய் எதிர்ப்பு சக்தியை உருவாக்கும். WBCs are of two types, granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes have irregular shaped nuclei and cytoplasmic granules, and agranulocytes do not have cytoplasmic granules. This granulocytes is divided into neutrophil, basophil, and eosinophil, and agranulocytes are divided into lymphocytes and monocytes. Next one is the blood platelets. These are minute, anucleated, fragile, weak fragments of giant bone marrow called megakaryocytes. They play an important role in clotting of blood. In the last part of this is the lymph. Lymph is a colorless fluid filtered out of the blood capillaries. It consists of plasma and white blood cells. It mainly helps in the exchange of materials between blood and tissue fluids. Students, we have discussed two types of animal tissues, epithelial and connective tissues, its types, location, and function. I hope you all understand the concept. The other types of tissues will be discussed in the following classes. Till then, stay safe and thank you.